Hello everyone, welcome to another session of Glass Academy. Today we have with us architect Harsh Pote, co-founder of Pentaspace Consultants Private Limited. Welcome sir, and we are delighted to have you with us. Before we start, I would like to introduce architect Harsh. Architect Harsh is a graduate from Academy of Architecture Mumbai and holds a degree in business management from Xavier's Mumbai. He is known for his expertise in elevation aesthetics and material visualization. He is an exemplary leader through every project from construction to its finishing. His commitment to completing projects within stipulated budget without compromising on architecture aesthetics is an inspiration for the company and the teams that look up to him. And this has earned him respect and several national awards by renowned architects like Doshi. He is responsive to clients' changing needs and industry trends as he designs buildings that are enduring in quality, function, and beauty. And today, he is here with us to be showing a few of those buildings. Welcome, sir, and the stage is now all yours.
Thank you for your kind words. So let's get on with the presentation. That's the best word. Hi, folks. This is architect Harsh from Pentaspace Consultant Private Limited. So today we are going to, I'm going to share our few of our projects, 5 of our projects. So 3 of them are office buildings and 2 of them are residential buildings. And I would like to share our experience building those structures in a the most sustainable way, and also the innovation of a glass, how we could achieve it, or we are certain projects are design stage, so how we are working towards it as far as the fenestration is concerned. We all know that Mumbai is a commercial hub of India. So obviously we have a lot of office buildings going on, or office building projects going on in Mumbai. So let's get on with the presentation. So I'm going to first talk about the basic planning, the basic massing, zoning we did, the basic architecture, how we could achieve to that stage. And then I'm going to talk about the sustainability and innovation in a glass aspect of it. Chambers. This is an office building. This is right now about to complete the, we are about to complete the project. This is located in a suburb of Mumbai called Andheri. It's at the junction of a main arterial road, which is a Andheri Marwal Link Road. So if some of you are known to Mumbai, they will know the location. So first, now we will talk about the actual plot, the zoning. So you can see it's a very odd shaped plot, very irregular shaped plot. It is one second. It is actually adjoining to Andheri Marwal Link Road. Perpendicular to it is a Western Express Highway, which is an elevated express highway. And then above that, there is a, you can see the pink line. This is actually a metro line, which runs from Andheri to Ghatkopar, another suburb of Mumbai. Adjacent, there are all plots. So it's a very peculiar location where you are, the plot actually is at the junction of a main commuting roads. So now comes to the zoning of and massing of the building. So you can see the 6-meter open space left from the plot boundary for a fire tender. Uh, at the rear end of the plot, which is a very odd shaped plot, we have put the ramp for vehicular access to the basement and the podium parking with the service core, which housed the fire staircase as well as 3 lifts. And then remaining is an office floor plate. And on the ground floor, there is a retail which is planned. Now, uh, due to the metro station, we have around about 6 meter to 7.5 meters height on the Marol and Andheri link road. And above that, another 15 meter is a metro station. So due to such a height, the entire face of the project is blocked. If you travel also now on the Andheri Marol link road, you will not notice the such a huge project is coming or such a high-rise building, office building is coming up there, because there are adjacent plots and they also have a retail. So it just merges into the other projects. So that was the actually a challenge for us, how to, such a office building is coming up and it is not seen basically from the link road. So what we did is we carved out a we carved out a triangular atrium. We cut the office floor plate, and that atrium on the 3rd floor level, we housed an entire food court or a restaurant there. And above floors, we have the office buildings or offices. You can see the 6 offices with the 3 lifts and a fire staircase is housed there. So atrium is carved out and building facade is turned at the angle towards the Western Express Highway. So suddenly the building facade becomes this chamfered portion, which you can see it from the junction of a Western Express Highway. I have the existing pictures, which I'll share. You will say how the effect has come up. To that, what we decided is let's give the form to this shape rather than just have a chamfered. So what we did is that we thought of having a diamond to be formed. So this triangle actually, starts increasing from the 3rd podium to the 9th level, and from the 9th level to 14th level, it starts decreasing. Thus, it forms the diamond shape. You can see the design achieved sketch which we have. So how this is actually a very early concept sketch or Google SketchUp of massing. We tried to do it, and you can see actually the metro station, what is shown like a tube, it's not there. It actually has gone up and it has like a massive structure. It has come up and it has completely blocked the facade. It's not what right now you can see the tube. So located opposite the metro station, the front facade was getting blocked, thus composing the frontage of the building. To overcome this, we turned the entire face diagonally, thus creating a diamond shape and opening it onto the western exit. The architecture of the building allows a prestigious view of the cityscape and the highway. The structure is designed with a complete glass facade to ensure there is an ample of natural light, help in saving power, the daylight, the day consumption of electricity. Passive planning technique are used to make building energy efficient. The services and the circulation pores in the building make up the tapering south facade, which I showed you earlier. The north, east, and west facade are glazed and designed to be self-shade facade. So what we did is that obviously this is the office building. People wanted a glass facade. The client wanted a glass facade, and obviously because it's it's also adjacently by the buildings, we wanted to have a glass facade to have a more of a open feel. But at the north side, yes, east and west side, we have used the double glaze glazing, which definitely improves the UV value factor, the VLT factor, and SGSC factor. On the south side, it's already a small facade, and the staircase is housed there. So we were quite happy with that. So there is no heat gain or sunlight penetration into the building. So we did the daylight analysis where you can see on the north side, this is basically the face which is facing the metro. This is a north, the south, the west, and the east side. So on the south facade, we have we don't have a glazing, we have windows which are required. On the north side, we have used the SGU, single glazed unit. On the east, the benefits in energy saving, where 4.4% reduction in annual energy use and 10.1% reduction in annual cooling energy use. Also, these are the certain aspect which we had selected around about 8 to 10 glasses, and each glass we put through the test of minimum illumination and maximum illumination, as well as the daylight factor and uniformity ratio. So we used the enhanced oceanic blue plus SGU, and the another one was enhanced oceanic blue plus DGU. So the bold glasses, you could see the bold figures. These are the two glasses. This SGU is on the north side and DGU is on the south, east and west side. So you can see the numbers. The illumination is 631 and 606. Also, the percentage wise, you can see 0.68 and 0.64. And the daylight factor is 6 and 6.3. So, on analyzing the climatic discomfort issues and energy factors, we had recommended these to clients, and they appreciated the entire study, and they went ahead with these glasses. So basically, lower U value helps in providing better insulation from harmful radiation and discomfort due to heat during summers. Lower VLT, which is actually visible light transmission, helps in cutting excessive daylight causing glare and visual discomfort. And lower SGSC helps in reducing the cooling energy bills by reducing external heat gains. So basically, it reduces the consumption of air conditioning. Also, this is a very composite structure. So entire atrium is done up with the steel, and because there is from here to here, it's actually the A-frame which is forming, and then again from here the steel columns have gone up. So basically, this is you can say it's an A-frame structure. These are the certain under construction pictures. You can see the diamond actually. So you can imagine if we would have just continued the straight facade at the end, it would have just felt like a block. It wouldn't have felt entire visual connection we would have lost. So now all these offices you can actually connected to the road, and at the junction of Andheri Marol Link Road and Western Express Highway. And this is from a street level, you can see it. You can see the diamond there. So definitely I would like to share once the final building is over, the final images. Let's get on with the next project, which is a Zishan project. It's a mixed-use building. This project has a bit of a history. It's a redevelopment it's a redeveloped project. So this project is located in the suburb of Mumbai called Vile Parle East. So earlier on this plot, there was a theater, a single screen theater, uh, which we used to call Shan Theater. And it was a theater which was built in 1960s. Uh, this was the alone theater, and it's a very famous theater because this used to be a only single string theater back in days, which used to cater around about 2 to 3 suburbs northwards towards the Ville Parle and southwards towards the Ville Parle. So you can understand it used to cater. It used to be like a entertainment building or entertainment zone or a hangout zone or a for the people of Mumbai, basically the suburbs of Mumbai. A large population used to visit this plot. So it got dilapidated and then it came up for a redevelopment. So what happens in a redevelopment of a theater? You have to have screens, but you from a commercial point of view, to make the project viable, you can have certain office activity going on, retail activity going on along, but you cannot get rid of the theater because it's kind of a reservation in the development plan for the public. So you can see this is the plot. It is actually facing 3 side roads. So this is 18.3 meter wide MG road on the so on the south side and 3 meter MG road, and then there is another Sun City Cinema is there, which is a newly come up screen. Then on the west side there is an adjacent plot. On the north side there is actually a bridge connects from Parla East, Ville Parle East to Ville Parle West. And after that, there is a famous Parle-G factory, the Parle-G biscuits, which we have, or you get it in the market. That used to get manufactured in this plot. Also, on the south side, there is a which is a beautifully garden there. So you can see the project is visible from 3 sides: north, east, and south. West, there is already adjacent plot and the buildings are there. And after those buildings, there is a suburban railway line. So this is basically about the plot. Now, how we did the zoning. So on the north side, we created a public plaza because this is the people from Ville Parle East and JVPD scheme where all the famous Bollywood stars are staying, or other industrialists, other people, and also the Ville Parle West people. They basically, if they have to access or they have to go to the South Mumbai or North Mumbai, they have to cross this bridge from Ville Parle west to east, and either they go from this road to the highway or they go on this road more on the east side to the highway. So this junction becomes a very prominent junction. On that junction, we wanted a building to be little on the back side. We didn't wanted a building or the structure to come out on the road. And we thought, let's create a good public plaza there. And from that public plaza, we will have a entry to the theaters. We have proposed the 2 multiplex there, and then the rest other floor plate can be the office floor plate. So basically the dark blue is the courtyard we planned, where we can, because the floor plate, the depth of a floor plate was getting bigger, more than 7.5 meters. To to receive the more of a natural light, we said that let's have a courtyard and let's receive more of a natural light to the office spaces. Four service cores which house the staircase and the lifts, two lifts and the fire staircases, which are as per the in from the office floor plate. This particular block is for the theater. The service code, basically it has a staircase, lifts, toilets, the AHU. So all the services are planned here and the theater is here. So on this wall, we can have a, basically all the hoardings can come up, the advertisement can happen and in front of the public plaza. And from public plaza, you can access the theater, and from these roads, we can access the retail at the ground floor and the office area. So now you can see this is the basically a block because this falls into the the zone of a airport zone of a Ville Parle, the international airport of Mumbai. This plot falls into the funnel of traffic movement, air traffic. So there is a height restriction. So we couldn't go high. So we had to use the entire maximum ground coverage, except removing the public plaza, which we thought. After that, you can see these are the toilets are basically planned on the external faces because internal we had the courtyard. So then we thought it's going to be another glass building. So how we can have a sustainable factor coming into it. So what we thought of a double screen architecture. So we thought of add the glazing. So basically the glass is floor to floor glass, and on the face of a duct, which is these fins are around about acts as a shading devices also. And so I will show you the floor plan actually. So this is a typical floor plan where you could see the theater, its own services, the offices, the internal courtyard, the four cores which are there. Periphery, these are the aluminum fins which we have. Now, wherever the services are there, we have reduced the distance between them. Now, what we thought is that how we can create a, rather than having only the vertical fins or fins which are perpendicular to glazing, let's create some dynamism into the elevation. So what we thought is that let's rotate each fin 5 degrees. So you can see here the fin is actually in line with the division. Then these fins slightly starts moving 5 degree, and that's how you can see in the elevation. So these fins are just 50 mm, and then they start showing the actual in depth they are 1.5 feet. So in the SketchUp models also, so they are just not the vertical fins, but they create a dynamism in the elevation. So these are the renders of the internal courtyard. That's the entrance lobby. You have a lobby, you have certain coffee shops, restaurants. So this becomes like a hangout space for the offices above. That's the render from the junction. This is the plaza. You have a box office there, which has an entrance towards the theater. Then on the ground floor, you can see the retail, and above, it's all office buildings. On the roof of it, we have planned, a roof terrace garden. So all this becomes a breakout space for the all the offices below. So in the their lunchtime or free time, they can access this terrace, and they can take a break from their hectic schedule or hectic meetings. In fact, there are certain places which we have planned where actually people can have outdoor meetings. They can take their clients or whatever their guests on the top, and they can it's just a creation of a different environment. We are also planning to have certain play areas there. Let's get on with that was about the Zishan project. Let's get on with the third project, which is Sanjona Chambers. This is again an office building. This is a very small boutique office building, not a big floor plate. It's just a 2,000 square feet of a floor plate. It's a high-rise, mid-rise again, the office building. This is in the suburb of Mumbai called Chembur. Again, you can see it's a very rectangular plot with the very minimum depth of the plot. The length is more length is on the road. It's a adjoining road which goes to the back properties. All three side, other two sides, it has adjacent plots. So in the zoning, you could see face of the building, which is when we had visited the site, immediately thought came, this is a best thing this plot could have, which is the more surface area, which is facing the north. So immediate thought and immediate planning was to put services which are which are used for keeping your air handling units, outdoor air handling units, and the service core, which is a fire staircase and the lift, planned on the south facade. So the south glare is avoided. Uh, that's the office space. On the east and the west side, we have planned the windows, and on the north side, we have the entire face is a glazing. So it's a very simple plan, uh, very simple solutions, and apt for the building. This is right of the out of the college. We had this knowledge, and just a basic knowledge applied to a basic project. So that's the floor plan. You can see the two lifts, a fire staircase. These on the south side, we have kept this ledge for keeping air handling, outdoor air handling units. On the west and east side, we have planned the windows, and on the north side, all glazing. So this is peculiar. This floor plate can have like one office, or it can divide it into max to max two offices. But actually, this is what right now sold is one office per floor. You can see on the south side, we have the combination of a clear glass and fins, the louvers basically, to get the fresh air, and they are arranged into the pattern. A pattern is formed there. Even in the front glass, we have certain pattern. We have used the multicolor glass there. That's the picture of. We thought we wanted to have circular windows rather than the rectangular windows. They are fixed windows. and that's a north side, the entire glass facade to it. That was all about. It was a very basic project, but a very basic knowledge applied at a small scale office building project. The next is this is a residential project. It's called Astoria. This is in another suburb of Mumbai called Goregaon. These are high-rise buildings. These are still plus 22 floors buildings. Uh, this is the odd shape of again the plot. It is actually adjacent to the Mithi River, and after immediate Mithi River, the RA forest or RA green space is there. So the length of a project is actually facing the RA. So and the backside is having a public garden which actually expands more. So you can see the plot is odd shape, but actually it is, you know, surrounded by very beautiful outdoor vistas. So what we did is that due to such a, and the plot size is also bigger. So when you have plot size exceeding certain square meters, you have to start giving the amenities to the people. So these are the amenity plot which we carved out, and these are the, we thought let's put the offset. What we did is that we just offsetted the 6-meter road, because sometimes these roads are used to clean up the river. I mean, actually at this junction, at least it's a river. As it move forward, it becomes like a drain. So it's not any longer a river. But at this junction, because this is very near to the origin of the river, so but it still requires the cleaning and getting rid of the silts. We have to leave the access there. So we just offsetted the boundary and we got the floor plate. And we say, okay, let's have an amenity plot here where one can have amenity planned for the citizens of Mumbai. So it can be a garden, it can be a school, it can be hospital. The rest is all the RG area, recreational ground on the Mother Earth. And these are the shape of the buildings what we got. This is a 9-meter wide driveway which we have. And it also connects to the further two ahead adjacent plots. Now, definitely these apartments are having, these apartments are having, a view towards the RA, and back apartments has the view towards the RG area or the amenity area or the public garden area. So this actually, if this becomes a RG, this will become like an entire big RG here, this plot also. So what we thought is that in a regular planning, what we have is we have a living room, we have a kitchen, and we have a dining. So this is called L-shaped living dining plan. What happens is that at least in Mumbai, people are planning this width of a living room depending upon the flat size. Like if the flat are say 1-bedroom hall kitchen, then usually they give not more than 3 meters. If the flat is say 3-bedroom hall kitchen, then the width of this living room becomes 11 feet, or which is 3.35 meter to 3.65 meters. But even if that, you could see that your vision towards the RA is only 10 feet. So if I'm going to purchase a residential apartment, what actually I'm going to purchase, even if I'm purchasing apartment facing the RA colony or RA greens, I'm going to have a very restricted view from, which is a 3-meter, essentially 3-meter width of a window. So what we thought is that let's have a plan which is a horizontal plan, where you get this dining also comes up in the kitchen space and kitchen moves ahead. So we get a panoramic view of RA grains. So breaking the conventional monotony in designing a plan that gives an unobstructed view of the lush greens as well as maximize light and ventilation. So this also what happens, even if the depth of the apartment is less, the apartment looks very roomy, it is well lit with natural light, and it just feels fresh. And also you have a larger window which you can getting a breeze also inside the house. So you can see that this is the A tower, where these are all 1-bedroom hall kitchen flats planned. Placed horizontal kitchen, even the bedrooms. So bedrooms are also placed in a horizontal way. Then there are toilets. There are no toilets which comes into the front, front face of the building. They are all tucked in at the back of in the internal chalk area. So I'm not wasting the my view or my balcony view of a flat towards the RA grains. So even if that 1.2 to 1.5 meter width of a toilet is not wasted in the elevation, this is a flat, actually 2.5-bedroom hall kitchen flat, where you can see the living, dining. Again, it's placed horizontally. This is a half a bedroom, and even these 2 bedrooms at the either ends, they are, the depths are less, the widths are more. So you can see in these plans. Again, the toilets are planned in the internal chalk area. You can see on my cursor. We are not wasting the toilets in the front facade. So these are 2 lifts, a staircase. You come into the apartment, living, dining, and then a kitchen. One side there is a study room or children's room, and these 2 are master bedrooms. So this is a basically when we say a sustainability, sustainability in the planning stage also we can do it. If you can just be sensitive enough to the surroundings where you're planning or where you're developing the structure or a project, you can be just sensitive towards your surrounding, and you can apply a very, I can say it's a common sense. The results are there. So, and basically this particular scheme, the developer got a fantastic response. He could sell his apartment in a very quick time. In 3 months of time, he could sell 300 apartments, because people just love these apartments and they just bought it. So a residential building aligned to allow unobstructed view of a vast greens expanse of RA colony from the entire flat or apartment, challenges the accepted norms for a home. All rooms are designed to have a larger dimension opening onto continuous deck. The openings along the longitudinal side of the house optimizes cross ventilation and natural light, achieving a sustainable home. So just reinventing a little bit few dimension in planning of apartment. Also, what we did is that when we have such a huge deck, what we thought is to have some kind of a because it is again facing the east side. So we thought let's have some kind of a sunshade devices. So we thought of having the on the balcony edge, we thought of having a movable sun shading devices, which are basically aluminum jalis or lure panels. So they are all aluminum lured movable panels. So if I'm right now sitting in the living, I can get all these panels on the afternoon, say in the say the 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and if I'm getting a lot of sunlight which is bothering me, I can have these movable panels arranged in front of living. When if I'm in the bedroom, I can arrange all these panels in the bedroom. So basically these movable panels come in, but but reduces the sunlight penetrating inside the house. So let's see. You can see one of the block. You can see this dark blue color. So while the another thing which we achieved by doing this is because all the apartments, they will be using different spaces. So these panels will be, and because these panels are movable, they will be moved according to the inner use of a space or a user of a space. So the elevation will be ever changing. These panels will be moving all the time throughout the day. So throughout the day, of entire day and 365, a dynamic elevation which is created by simply just movable panels. That's all about it. And who's creating the dynamism in the elevation? It's actually user of the space, which is, so being a functional and adding some creativity into it, you can have all the parameter clicks and all the elements you want to highlight in a architectural project, which get clicks. So we didn't need to have, it can just have a simple elevation, but certain elements just make it dynamic. So that's a very simple thought what we gave. So the fins allow the movement on the facade, which will change the elevation from time to time, which would create a dynamic play of light and shadow inside also. So from the outside aesthetic point of view, into the inside, a play of light and shadow gets achieved. So this is a render again. I'm sorry, I just couldn't find the pictures, so I'm not able to share actually. And also silver rated uh, project. So on the staircase also, if you can see, we have planned the zigzag pattern where we have a solid and glass and vertical landscape planned there. These are the refuge areas, double height refuge area, which becomes the entertainment area, which becomes like indoor areas, play areas, um, that kind of a thing. Uh, Now, this is another residential project which we would like to talk on. Again, this is a very boutique project, very small project. It's one apartment per floor, and it's a three bedroom hall kitchen apartment, 500 square meter of a plot, but it just planned in a different way. So I thought I could share it. So from the large scale residential building to the even the smaller plot, how we could we need to pay the attention towards the detail and how we could achieve the result. That is what I'm going to talk about in this project. So this is a basically more of a square rectangle plot. Uh, so it is having a main road which is on the, this is a east face, this is a north face, south and west. So you can see on the north side these roads, and on the west side these roads. Basically, this plot is a part of a it's a housing society. So obviously these plot had earlier bungalows, which were ground plus two bungalows were there, and this is basically the main entrance from this main road to the housing area. So it's a very well the it has all the huge trees gulmohar trees, and a very quiet, very serene inside plot, or very quiet surroundings. This road is little busy, so we thought rather than facing the apartment on the busy road, let's put, we'll see a blank facade on the majority of that facade would be seen on the road. I mean, we had seen that, okay, from the roadside you need to see the apartment, but we did a reverse here. The apartment we are opening out on the west facade, which is actually a low rise and a very calm, and very, the trees are very high there, so very calm surroundings, which are very optimal, which are very required for the one flat per apartment, because these are actually, the project is in JVPD scheme, so a very premium and a boutique project this is. And so this is a service core, the L-shaped apartment, adjacent plots. This is the basically a floor plan of typical flat, where you have a staircase, two lifts, lobby, a living and dining, again horizontal, to get more light, two bedrooms, toilet, 3-4 bedrooms, and a kitchen. So that's the, this is the crossroad down entry, internal roads. So these are the basic, you can see the picture. So the concept was that we have, as this is being a very small 500 square meter of plot, and we have around about 7 floors, so 7 flats were there, but all of those flats were very big flats, and 4 bedroom hall kitchen. They require, we thought of at least to have a 3 car parking to 1 flat. So to house that, what we did is that we elevated the entire apartments 12.5 meters. So so down below you can see there is an entrance lobby. Now this is a 12.5 meter of a high of an entrance lobby, which is again in the glass and with the column beam frame. So this becomes a very nice feature from the crossroad, and you can see the staircase. Now this staircase, what we did is a pattern made the folded staircase as an elevational features. So we designed the staircase also like a folded staircase, and not with the waist slab staircase, which is a regular staircase which we see. So it became a feature from the, it depicts the movement, vertical movement in the apartment. The other sides where we have the strips of vertical greens and aluminum vertical panels. So the building, the building, actually the vertical greens, it imitates the surroundings in the building. That is why the vertical greens are used, and it also brings a life, or it also breaks the monotony of the the fenestration, basically the aluminum fenestration which we did. Even though the colors used are earthy colors, still it breaks the monotony and heaviness of that fins. So these fins allows the air circulation inside it. So this is a very stack parking system, multi-level. So the car comes in and it just automatically parks itself. It's a very automated system used. These are the photographs. So you can see in this photograph, this is very beautifully, the vertical green imitates the surrounding, you know. So at the eye level, so actually the apartment starts above the eye level, but the eye level, the building should merge in the surrounding. That's why these vertical greens are used. Also in the elevation, you could see this project is for S Raheja, and it's called SP7. So it also house the logo. The vertical greens also house the logo and the name of the project. Thank you. Hereby, I would like to finish my presentation. I hope I did justice to my project and you like the what we had done. It's a very small snippet which I could share because of a limited time. Otherwise, definitely I would have liked to share more of our projects. But that's all about me. And that's all about Pentaspace Consultant Private Limited. Hereby, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Architect Harsh, for taking us through such an informative presentation. It was very interesting to see how all the buildings are so unique, not only in the way the functions are structured, but also in the facades. Most of them are high-rise buildings, and all of them look so distinct from each other, not only in how they respond to the client's need, but also how they respond to the culture, social, and environmental context. So I have a few questions in regards to that. So the first building that you showed, Chambers, the mixed-use building, what really struck with me was how rather than choosing to design a straight edge structure, your ground floor plan especially responds to the edges of the side. So compared to a conventional cubicle building, what challenges did you face while designing the structure, especially in its facade?
Can you come again? I just couldn't.
Yeah, sure. So rather than choosing to design a straight edge structure, your building responds to the edges of the side. Change. So compared to a conventional building, what challenges did you face while designing this structure, especially the facade?
So definitely not to have a very rigid edges because the building is seen from building has two major junctions. It has a two corner points, and we thought let's fillet the edge and it just feels more acceptance, or it doesn't impose, the structure doesn't impose on the streets. So if you see a Ballard Pier or any probably you can say South Mumbai, the buildings which are on the corner or old buildings, if you see, they are not with the edge. They are always, the edges are filleted. So that's what we thought when we are creating a new CBD or new office building. Let's have a rounded edge so the building is not imposing. Structurally, definitely we had a problem because we couldn't have, if you had a rectangle form, you could have the columns coming on the edge, but we had to cantilever that much of portion. Also in the glazing, definitely, but that's a requirement. I mean, definitely it's going to increase the cost of the glazing, but definitely from inside that office, if you have a corner office, if you have a curved glass, we are not going to use the segmented glass because that's not going to be we will not do the justice if we use the segmented glass. So definitely we have convinced the client to have to use the curving ahead with that. The fins also, because if you can see, actually it's going to help us because the rotation of 5 degree of the fins, aluminum fins, it will help, and it will basically, you can say a skin, which will engulf the, it will give a continuous effect from curve to the straight facade.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so the next question, one of your key roles is material visualization and elevation aesthetics. So how do you experiment with glass as a material for elevation? So like, what are the parameters that help you decide, okay, for this building, I'm going to use this kind of glass? So like, how do you come to that conclusion?
So using glass particularly as a material, we don't see it that way. We see it as a any other. I mean, glass. We see it as a translucent or transparent material. So so the color of a glass is not yet visualized from a day one. Definitely, if because it is a continuous project or a continuous process, uh, evolving process. I mean, it never happens, or it has probably in a very auto way. It has never come to our mind to let's freeze everything at a day one. At a day one, when we are on a drawing board, let's have this glass, let's have that glass, because project takes 3 to 4 years to complete. So when they take so much of a time to complete, within those 3 to 4 years, there's a new technology, the new material has come up. So it becomes a ever evolving process. And I mean, you could see the first sketch we had in that chambers project. We had certain solid elements which are like a droplets of a rain, and we imagine those as a solid panels. But when we start when the the slab started casting, and when we reached up to fourth slab, we said let's have a mock-up done of a glass and a solid panels. And when we did that, we realized that because that time the metro station was also under construction, and we were not getting the final proposal from the metro people, that how their final design is going to come. So when they completed their structure, we did the mock-up, and then we felt that this is started looking very heavy. Panels glass, and but what we did is that now the glass area is increased. So we need to do a lot of research in selecting of a glass. And when we select a glass, we always recommend clients to use DGU and not single glazed units, at least on the west and east and south face. So we don't allow the use of single glaze units on these three sites except north. And also on the north and other side, we always take care of I said the UV value. We always see the VLT values and the SGSC. So these are the three aspects where we see it. Definitely, it becomes the capital cost becomes a little higher to a developer.
I think the next and the last question is like, I feel personally like sustainability is a factor that needs to be considered while designing a building. Um, like, so is that conscious choice your firm is also making, and what all strategies have been used in these projects that reduce the negative environmental impact from a building environment?
So the simple thing is that what we are going ahead is we don't use any PVDF coatings, because PVDF coatings are very harmful. So we are not using that. It's very harmful process, and the residues and to the environment, and the recycling of that is very harmful. See, what we see is that you need to make your client aware of certain facts. They will always go for a cost cutting. They will always think of a cost cutting, because they are not exposed to these kind of information. They are basically the clients, I would say, they are not very few of them are educated or updated in these technologies. So as an architect, it's your duty to educate your client on these materials, use of materials, and educate them on the environmental issue, Also, when I said that SGU and DGU, uh, why to use it? What's the function? I mean, you saw the study which we did. These studies are also done by a lot of people, a lot of manufacturers, but they are not explained to them. They are not, what are the advantages or disadvantages of that, and how you can use that information to your advantage, uh, is what you need to educate them. Also, in an environmental way or a sustainable way, I think, as I explained you in a Astoria way also, or in other Sanjona chambers also, it's a basic common sense or basic concepts which we have learned in the school, architectural school. It's the application of it, and basically when you are doing the application of it, you need to be firm on your beliefs, and you need to firmly explain those things to the client and why it's to be done in that way and that fashion only. There are a lot of clients which ask us for options. There is a phenomena of client, oh, give me 2 3 options or 4 5 options. So we don't fall into that practice. We said there are no options, because those options are already negated by us. We show that study to them, and we show the entire process of 0 day to the final presentation, how the design is evolved. You cannot present a final design to the client straight away. If you're going to do that, then he's going to reject it, or he's going to ask for an option. Like, you go to buy any, like a lady, she goes to buy any sari, she's not happy with one single sari. She wants to see the more sari. So it's the same way. If you don't explain them properly, they are not going to accept your design. They are not, I mean, that, and I feel all the architects, while designing, they design consciously. That at a day one, they start their process very consciously. It's just the presentation, technique, or a content which forces them to change their design, or the design is not received properly by clients. So clients say, okay, I want changes, this and that. But certain things, yeah, like when I talk about chambers, I told client that on a, I'm not going to happy with the SGU on day one. I said we want to use DGU. It's going to be cost effective. It's not going to be a cost effective. It's going to be a higher capital cost. But and I told him also what is a percentage. I told him also how you can, recover that cost also. So if you can educate them on all the aspects, if you do your own study properly, and don't just face the client that way, have a proper strategy towards your scheme, and make sure that he accepts that scheme. So strategy is the word. Highlight certain points and do it. And concept wise, you just have to apply the common sense and the common what you have learned or taught by your teachers.
I absolutely agree with you, sir. I think there has to be some sense of strategy and patience when you are approaching clients with your ideas. Thank you so much, Mr. Harsh. And on behalf of all of us at Glass Academy, I would like to thank you again for sharing your thoughts with us today. We will connect with you with further questions that come in from the audience, and we'll have them up on the website too. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you.